This is my 2006 BMW E60 M5 with the S85 V10 engine. It produces 507 crank horsepower and has the SMG 7-speed manual sequential gearbox. A lot of people who normally haven't owned these vehicles love to talk bad about them, but I, however, absolutely love this car. This car has always been one of our dream cars, and it's treated us absolutely amazing. These massive brakes will take you from 60 miles an hour to 0 in only 112 feet, which is very good for 2006. The styling of this car is absolutely timeless. Being made in 2006, almost a decade and a half later, still looks very modern. Here you can see the original badges have faded a little bit. The trunk is massive, like any 5 Series of course. Per BMW you have no spare tire, only an inflation kit if you happen to get it. The rear seats do fold down in a 60-40 fashion, and then you do have the pass-through as if you wanted to carry any skis or golf clubs or anything of that sort. The car also comes with this really neat first aid kit and toolkit on the inside of the trunk lid. Open it real quick and you will find your fuse box diagram. Look down and there are your tools and your first aid kit. The trunk does have a couple little weird storage compartments like this one here where you can maybe fit a couple CD cases in it if you wanted to, but not too much else. Just like any other vehicle, it does have a couple tie down points as well. Lid, you have a couple handles and a safety relief. Even in 2020, the vehicle's interior is still quite modern. It has a very nice looking steering wheel, dash, and seats. You can look pretty much anywhere in the car and you're going to find M or M5 badges absolutely everywhere. And of course you have your electronic memory seats. 2006, this wood grain probably looked really good, and it's still in really good condition, but it's a bit outdated now. This is your M button. Go ahead and press this, and it'll change everything from a daily driver to your preset race car settings. This is your iDrive control knob, your shifter, and many different settings on it, as well as your air conditioning controls and your iDrive screen. The roof and A-pillars are covered in this really nice Alcantara material, and it always looks great. The rear seat has plenty of room for activities, or your children, and your children will never be late to school in this car. In the rear seat, I assume BMW had smoking on the mind, because there's these tiny little ashtrays everywhere. Also have these weird floppy back seat pockets. They're pretty ugly. On the rear of the center console you have your AC controls, your heat dial, open and close your vents, and you also have your cigarette lighters of course. This is personally one of my favorite things. Each window in the rear has this little sun visor thing. It really helps keep the inside cooler and kind of makes your tint look darker as well. The very rear window also has a power sunshade. Start your 2006 BMW M5 and eventually your iDrive screen will turn on. You have all your shifter controls. This is your power button from 400 to 500 horsepower. This is your DSC button for traction control. And this is your EDC button for your electronic dampening control. This is your shift speed. Shift it up and it will shift faster and harder, shift it down, and then the vehicle will shift softer and earlier in the RPM. For your automatic drive mode, you can see I'm shifting up and down. On the shift speed, you can see the little boxes filling in. Go to neutral, there's reversed, to the left and up. Back to neutral, and back to drive. Here you can see the heated seat button, your side bolster button for the passenger seat, your parking sensors, your tire light reset, your other side bolsters, and your other heated seat. One of my least favorite things about the E60 is that you can't control whether the air hits your face or your feet. There's no button for it. Every BMW in this era has these horrible cup holders that always end up getting stuck in the dash, but you can eventually fish them out and clean them and they'll work just fine. The sound of the E60 BMW M5 is absolutely like no other. So this is your absolutely massive 5-liter V10 engine that produces 507 horsepower. BMW really prepared for 205 miles an hour with this thing with 2 foot latches. In this era of BMW, they were very good at making very functional but very ugly intake plenums. Personal opinion, I think it's just too much plastic. If you're considering getting a BMW M5 E60, I would highly recommend it. I absolutely love this vehicle. For the price, you cannot find anything else that even slightly compares to this car. We liked our E60 so much, we actually went and bought an F10 M5 as well. Mods to come on this, let me know if you all are interested in seeing it. Our catless downpipes came in for our F10 M5, and I'm really excited to put them on. Let me know if you want me to make a video about it. Although I'm not that impressed with the build quality, but we're going to wrap these so we won't see it anyways. That'll be it for today's video. Stay tuned for more content.